Hi guys, welcome back, episode number 14 on the Infinite Gaming server. I promise today, guys, we're gonna leave the end, but yeah, I've been busy. So right after the end of last episode that I recorded there, I was just playing around and watching some videos and stuff like that, and I saw Doc and Etho make up the Endermite farm. Let me go back a sec. We played all through the snapshots, kind of from the start of 2014 or so, and there was one of the early snapshots, under 10, where they introduced the mob called the Endermite here, the little guy that spawns when you throw an Ender Pearl. So when you toss an Ender Pearl, there's a random chance that those guys will spawn. When they first came in, Endermen were hostile to them. Then the Zip Crowd guys made up this farm design, and one of the next, almost instantly, Mojang released a next snapshot where they completely removed the hostility. The Endermen were no longer hostile to the Endermites. So it really seemed like they didn't like this farm design, and they thought it was too overpowered, and it really is. It really works a lot better than the traditional piston powered ones. So they instantly released a snapshot where they weren't hostile at all, completely broke this farm design, and that's kind of the last I heard of it and last time I did any sort of research. So when I wanted to make up an end farm, I didn't really realize that the Endermite one was still an option, otherwise we would have done that. And you would have seen, the enchanting table and stuff like that right at that level. I think it's really cool what we have down below, and I'm not gonna change that yet. But I think we can work with the Endermite design because it works a lot better. And also, it's the way forward. You kind of wanna stay with the technology and stuff like that. And while this farm design worked pretty well, even what we have here is probably double the spawning pads, because that's what it comes down to. Is for everything this tower is, there's only 20 pads, because it's a 10 by 2. Well, I guess 40 if you consider both angles. 40 per level. Whereas, we're in a circle here that has it's a radius of 31. So from the center block to the glass on the outside there is 31, which puts the area of the circle somewhere up around 12,000. It's just it doesn't compare to the amount of spawning spaces available to this tower. And I mean, we have we have a good half there. So maybe 3/4 of the available pads that we're using, and it's just gonna knock the socks off the tower. I don't want to take the tower down yet, just in case something gets broken. We're gonna leave it like this for a little bit, but yeah, because we have the two things down beneath, we need the 2 Endermites, and then hopefully it'll balance a little bit. I think this side's going to be a lot more prevalent than that side, but it should work. Let's see what happens. So I have one of the Endermites there. I played around with that a couple nights ago, and then I'm going to put the second one here with you guys. Yeah, let's get started. We're actually down just a level where you can see where our buttons are. So this level here, where the trapdoors are going, is where the vines were to reset the fall damage. I need that back. That's gonna stink. Oh well, I have to make another one. So this the level we're at right now is where the vines were, and we you can't have the vines because the Endermen are moving to reset their fall damage. The Endermen are moving, and then they just get stuck on the vines. That's what we had the minecart for. So I guess you could use a minecart to knock them off the vines, but I came down to the right level, and yeah. So the thing is so the farm works because the Endermen still are hostile to Endermites, but only when there's no player inside of 32 block radius. So that's actually kind of where our farm design is going to go a little screwed up, because we we spawn in here, come up, and then go down. Until you're down at the bottom, the Endermen aren't going to be hostile to the Endermite. So there's just a tiny little bit of down, or we lose just a tiny bit there, but I'm not too worried about that. And I think it's going to look really cool to see them going. So what I did was I took the radius off of both. I took a 31 block radius off of both of the centers, and then kind of just butchered the circle where I needed to overlap it. So from this side over here is all going to get filled in as well, but I'm actually out of torches. That's the thing I need. So I'm going to turn this side of the farm on, block this off, and then finish this side up. Okay, so then you come in from there, so I should, oops. Xandermite is sitting in this minecart, and this is a 2.5 block jump right here. These slabs are 3 blocks underneath. So the Enderman can't come in sideways to get to these guys. They have to come here, and because it's the trapdoors and the fence posts, they think they can walk it, and they go down the gap there. So that's what we're trying to replicate. So the Endermite's going to be sitting right there. We're just going to use a bit of rails and a minecart to get him there. So 1, 2... The first time took me a bunch of tries to get this right. I do go through about 6 Endermites. Okay, I think that's the right place. Yep. You know what, I might just come up one. That block. So yeah, the oh, I can't tell what's going on there at all. Track. Oh, okay, the block is missing there. That's good. Okay. So yeah, the first time I did this, I had a pretty rough time of it. I was just, I was using the regen off the beacon and the regen potions there, and it worked okay. But yeah, to spawn in 5 or 6 took a long time. This time we're gonna use basically all my available gold. Oh, I have 1 spare. Okay. We're gonna do this right, I guess. Use a notch apple. Oh, hi, buddy. You can go away. Okay, so what we're gonna do is use a bunch of ender pearls to spawn an endermite down in here, and we're gonna trap him in the minecart, and then we're just gonna push him into the right place, and then we'll take this all away and put the roof on. The roof's not centered. And then we're gonna knock out all these torches, and the enderman will start spawning and get attracted. So yeah, let's see what happens. Oh, he's still hurting me. Okay, well, that worked out a little easier than I thought. Nice when it happens on the second try. Oh, I need to name tag him. Shoot. I might have had to do that before I put it in the minecart. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay. So now if I remove these blocks here, he should be able to fall down. There we go. This is all going just a little too easy right now. Do I have iron on me? I don't. Okay, well, why don't I take this all down here, guys? I'll go remove a bunch of the torches, put the roof on, and yeah, we'll take a look once it gets going and see what happens. Okay, I'll be right back with you guys. Hi guys, welcome back. So we're all done there. So yeah, I pushed our endermite down just at the end there. Took the wool away, put a roof on, and just took our torches out. That's it. It was probably pretty dark. Hopefully it'll brighten up in post-processing when I edit it and that. But yeah, you can see we have a whack of endermen hanging around. And it's not until we get outside of 32 blocks or so that they get aggressive towards endermites, and that's one of the hardest things that I had to figure out. That took a long time. So let's head away. Whoops, I looked at one of them. Where'd you go? So let's come over to this corner. I think that should be far enough away, and hopefully it'll give us a decent view. Oh yeah, you can see them all streaming down there. And until we get, this half of the circle on the walkway going, almost all of them are going to be going into that other side. But that's fine. Yeah, look at those guys go. Okay, let's head down to the bottom and see what it's like. And you can see as we come closer here, they're, well, some of those guys are still aggressive, some aren't though. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna finish up the rest off camera there, guys. I think that's gonna be it for the end. I think you guys kind of know what's going on, and we've hung out here enough for sure. So, yeah, let me clean up a bit, and let's go find something else to do. Okay, I'll be back with you guys here in a minute. Hi guys, welcome back. We're up here on the roof of the Nether. Been back and forth for a couple of days now, thinking about where I wanted to live, and I mean, I made the hole up there, with the intention of coming and living here, and I think it's still a good idea. I don't know, I kind of like it up here. It's just it's calm and peaceful, and there's nobody else around, including mobs, and that's one of the things one of the goals for my base is going to be mob proof. So I ran a straight line out from where our track is going to come up through the roof of the Nether there. The cows and that are just beside, and I have just some chests over here hanging out. And yeah, so here's the plan. I'm just going to kind of keep working away on this circle here. What I'm going for is not quite a space station, but more like one of the planetary closures. I don't know if that's the right way to say that, but kind of like those things that, when guys are going to go to Mars, that's what that's what they're planning on building on the surface of Mars and stuff like that. It's kind of a self-sustained environment, and Usually it's very, very rounded and stuff like that, and I'll talk about that in a second. And yeah, that's kind of suiting for us, being up in kind of a foreign environment. I think that's kind of a neat idea. So what I'm going for right now is to kind of make a big serpentine at the front here, and then it's going to run kind of square back. And the reason, actually, the whole thing itself, when we build this, we're going to kind of stray true to form, which is no sharp corners on the outside. And the reason for that is that anything that deals with pressurization, when you have a right angle, kind of like this, the pressure isn't evenly distributed across the whole way. So when you start talking about PSI and stuff like that, the closer you get to the corner, the greater the pressure is in the corner itself. And so you can engineer it so that you can work with that. But it depends on your pressure gradient and stuff like that. And so with the greater pressure in the corner, it takes a lot of structure and a lot of reinforcing and stuff like that to 1, 2, 3, you come out to make it work. And so it's just a lot easier to stay with a circle. Is if you have a circular shape, then your pressure is evenly distributed across the whole surface. That's whoa, that was weird. I just looked up for some reason, not intentionally. So that's the reason that planetary enclosures and even airplanes and stuff like that are circular. It's more to do with the pressurization than airplanes are circular for many reasons, but pressurization is one of them. And other things like that, other things that need to be pressurized, like hospitals and that, don't necessarily need to be circular, but the pressure gradient in an airplane is a lot bigger than it is in a hospital. So yeah, that's kind of what we're going for, is just what I kind of want to do is just have kind of like a long kind of dome shape, and then have some jut outs and stuff like that to for different places. But just at the front here, I kind of want to have this serpentine so that you come up through the middle and you kind of have not just a square face that you're coming up against. 1, 2, so these are the 3, and you can kind of see how the shape's taking, how the place is taking shape right now. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. I'm gonna keep, whoopsie. I'm gonna keep laying stuff out. Actually, it looks really cool from down here. And what I'm going for first is to figure out where my storage room is gonna be. And I think what it might do is something like run it along one of the sides here, because I want it really close to our entrance, because that's the thing that we come in to and for a lot. So that might work. Yeah, well, let me do some laying out here, and we'll figure it out. Oh, and if I haven't said this before, it needs to be mob proof too, which is going to be a challenge. So yeah, lots of stuff to do. I'll be back with you guys here in a bit. Hi guys, welcome back. Just playing around with floor patterns here. I kind of said before we need to make it spawn proof, but I didn't quite explain why. All your mobs in the nether ignore light levels, so it doesn't matter how many torches and stuff like that you place down, they can still spawn if you give them a solid block. So we either need to slab our floor or use glass, and I kind of preferential the glass, especially after how it turned out in the end. When we do it here, I want to put the pattern underneath the glass, and then we're just going to have a solid layer that you look down through, and I think that'll work pretty good for what we want. So the pattern here, this initial center 3 with the runners, I guess. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but I found that on Reddit a little while ago. They did it with different colors and stuff like that, but yeah, I kind of like how that looks. It works just about right for the light spacing, and it kind of what it's going to let us do actually is differentiate our base. So what I'm going to do, I was playing around with colors and the glass and stuff like that, and I really like how the black wool, the andesite, the diorite, and the black glass look. And my only concern is that that's just a little too dark. I really like it, and I think in the overworld that would be just right. But I think in the nether that's just going to be a little bit too dark. The gray glass I don't like for different reasons, and the white glass I like because it's light, but I think it kind of takes away from the floor pattern. So I was sitting on the fence kind of between the two glasses. The gray is kind of the worst of the both, and I like the white, and not the white, the light gray. Can you even make white glass? I don't even know. Actually, yeah, you must be able to. I wonder what that would look like. Glass. I can't imagine that would be all that good. Actually, it's better than I thought, to be honest. But, kind of the same way where the light gray takes away from our pattern. It does the same thing. It does a really good job of brightening it up, though. I kind of like that. So yeah, the two concerns I have are that this is too dark. And then this is takes away from our floor pattern. So what I'm going to do instead is actually replace these center ones with color, depending on what part of the station I guess is the right word for that. Depending on what part of the station you're in. And we're going to start with blue because I think that looks pretty good underneath the black glass. I think that's just about right, is to have blue. So you come in, we're gonna start in black, and then as you come off to one side, like our storage area, it'll probably be blue. I'll just start with that, and we'll go from there. So that's the plan. So I'm gonna clean all this up. I'll move it up there, and I'll get a bunch more materials, and we'll put a floor down. And then we can move all our stuff upstairs. I'm just kind of running back and forth to the end and grabbing whatever I can as I need stuff. So let's do that, guys, and I'll be right back. Welcome back here, guys. So I got a pretty good start on our floor pattern here. Pretty happy with how it turned out. Yeah, let's talk about that in a second. So I actually changed up our circles a little bit. I had them at 21 block radiuses, and now I have them at 25 diameter. Sorry, they're now at 25 diameter for the circles. So what my plan is, I didn't do it here. Actually, I'm gonna have to change this edge. Is to put the center of the circle actually up about 2 blocks. So this is actually where the center of the circle row is going to be. The point for that is that it's actually going to curve back in just a little bit. So you're going to be like that, kind of like that. If you can kind of picture that, it'll curve back in just a little bit, and then I'm gonna. So where these slabs are actually going to disappear. That'll be open. The point for that is to be able to have just kind of an edge where you can come up and look out. So if we were just to go straight up here, you can only see a little bit. But if you, at least the way I'm planning it, you can come out and kind of look down a little bit more, and it just kind of gives you that bigger sense of openness and that. So I think the overall floor isn't going to change by much because we're going to come in by about 2 blocks on the outside there. With how I've got it planned, it's kind of difficult to describe, but So I don't think the actual floor volume is going to change too much, except that our center is going to be bigger and stuff like that. But I think that'll work just a little better and look a little bit nicer. And that way, kind of we were talking about pressurization, we also kind of avoid this hard edge. This hard's 90, so I think that kind of sticks with the theme a little bit. What doesn't stick with the theme is the floor pattern. I think like this is almost a little ritzy for kind of having like a space station or something like that. But we'll see. I'm not going to change it. I really like how it is, and I think we'll just have to kind of tailor the building for the rest of it. The other kind of thought that I had is that as we build this, if we put a different color over here and say put our farms in that over in this side, we're gonna end up looking kind of a little bit like the Nether hub, where we have the four well, they're not corners, but 4 circles. So we're gonna have to kind of change that a little bit, because I really just don't want to copy the Nether hub with four circles. So yeah, that's some stuff to think about, stuff to do. I think that's gonna be it for the episode, guys. I'm just kind of waiting on glass right now. That's what's taking my slowest amount of time. Actually, I'm out of wool too, pretty much. But so I have to do stuff like bring sheep over. I found a bunch of food that I cooked, so I'm not gonna starve. And yeah, I think that's gonna call it for an episode, guys. Once I just tidy up the end farm and stuff like that, we'll take one last walk through there. But the end farm project is pretty much done. This is a pretty good start to it. We're gonna run our chests and stuff like that in the middle of this. Kind of like this. With what's that? 2. Probably go back just 1 extra. So here, just one's at the black there. Something like that. Run our chests up in a big row here, and that way we can get organized, because that's something I always like to do, is to be organized and neat and tidy, and that way I kind of know where stuff is and what I have. This kind of searching for stuff is the pain in the butt. I had to go look for coal. Actually, I'm already halfway out. Of course. Okay, that's it. That's what I'm going to call the episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Have yourselves a great day.